What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video, basically, I just want to answer questions that people always ask me, the frequent asked question that people always ask me whenever they were planning to come to Canada, or they were, whenever they were thinking of coming to Canada. The question I always get from people. So I just want to answer all the questions so that it will be easier for everybody instead of me answering everybody one by one. So the first thing is that people always message me, oh, show me, help me. I want to come to Canada. What can I do? I have a whole lot of information on my page on how to do it yourself. And if you want to use agents, like I always tell people, the same thing that agents is going to do for you, you can actually do it yourself. You get? So, but for school admission, you can do it yourself. Just watch. I just finished a video. Just watch the video. It will show you step by step on how to do it yourself for school admission. Then if you now need help on visa application, we can now talk. You understand? For school admission, you can have information that can guide you on how to apply for school admission yourself. So that's the first thing. The next question is that they always ask, oh, I studied this course in my undergraduate. I want to do my maybe master's. Can I switch to another course? One thing you have to understand is that every program, they have their requirements. If you studied English before and you want to switch to computer science have their own requirement, like what you must have, like the course you must have taken in your undergraduate. So since you don't have that requirement, there is no way you can apply to another course. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you just want to jump into a new course, the course you don't have background about. How are you going to cope? You understand? How do you want to cope? But if you have been working on yourself, maybe you did English, like I said, and you've been working on yourself on the computer science courses, maybe self-trained, or you've taken some courses outside from the school, and you can, yes, you want to go into IT because number one, you have the background, like you have like a basic background that you need. Do you understand? So you have to consider yourself first as well, that this new course that I want to jump into, do I have the basic background needed for it? You get? So that's the first thing, considering yourself. Second thing is that it might be hard for you by the time you want to apply for your visa, because visa officer would want to challenge you that, this was what you studied in your undergraduate. Why the sudden change? You get? So they might be thinking that your main intention is not to study. You get? Unless if you have very good reason. You understand? Like I said, maybe you've taken some courses outside school. You cannot prove that evidence that, outside my school, yes, I did English in my undergraduate, but I've taken some courses after that. These are the evidence, these are the certifications that I have and all that. You get to prove yourself that, I really mean what I want to go into. Or maybe after you graduated, let's say you studied English, and then after you graduated, you started working maybe in a hospital and all that. You started working there. You can tell them that, I want to go into nursing now because since I've been working at the hospital, I've had some experience. My workplace inspired me to want to go into this field because now I have a practical experience there. You get? So all these reasons, you must have them. If you don't have them and you don't have enough reason, it might affect you when you're applying for your visa application, because these are all the things that visa officer always look out for whenever they were reviewing your file. So the next question I also get is that, should I do 1 year program or 2 years program? 1 year program or 2 years program? Both of them have advantage and disadvantage. The advantage of 1 year program is that, it's short. 1 year, you're done. You don't have to pay for second year tuition. You understand? You don't have to pay for second year school fee. So you just have to pay one time. 1 year, you're done with your program, you're done with school, you just paid only one time. Advantage of 1 year program. But it has disadvantage if you're coming into this country. Disadvantage of 2 years program would be you have to study for 2 years and then you have to pay tuition for 2 years. but that one has its own advantage as well. So disadvantage of 1 year program is that when you're done with your program, Canadian government, they will give you postgraduate work permit. That is, you can stay in Canada to work after you finished with your study. You understand? So if you study 1 year course, any course that is a year or below, they are going to give you 1 year postgraduate work permit. You get? So, and if you study any course that is above 1 year, like a year and 3 months, a year and 3 months upward, they are going to give you 3 years postgraduate work permit. You get? So if you study 1 year program or below, they will give you just 1 year postgraduate work permit. And if you study any course that is above a year, they will give you 3 years postgraduate work permit. So what is this postgraduate work permit? So this postgraduate work permit allows you to still remain and work full-time in Canada after your study. So if your program is a year, what you will get is just 1 year postgraduate work permit. And what is this postgraduate work permit? How does it play out? It play out by the time you want to apply for your permanent resident. One of the requirements to apply for permanent resident is to have a full-time 1 year work experience, at least 1 year full-time work experience. So the reason why people always run away from 1 year program is that when they are done, they will give them 1 year postgraduate work permit. If they can't get job instantly when they finish, they won't be able to qualify for the 1 year work experience that they needed for the permanent resident. You understand? So, but if you study 2 years, after you graduated, they will give you 3 years postgraduate work permit. So you have at least 3 years to find, even if you didn't get job, your desired job in the first year, which is not possible. If you didn't get your desired job in the first year, you can wait for first year. Oh, you are still looking for the job that you really want. You have 3 years. But if it is 1 year you have to make sure you get job instantly. Because if you didn't get job instantly, for example, they issue you postgraduate work permit January 1st. If you didn't start working at that January 1st, by the time the permit will expire by December 31st, for example, if they give you the postgraduate work permit January 1st and you got a job, let's say February 1st or February whatsoever, by the time the permit will expire, your work experience is not up to what you would need to use to apply for your permanent resident. Do you get it? So that is why people always run to 2 years program. And for your information, postgraduate work permit is just one in a lifetime. The Canadian government only issue it to you once in a lifetime. Once you have been given, you can't get it again, maybe after it expired. So what people always do, some people that took maybe 1 year course, is that by the time they were rounding up their 1 year course, they will apply for another maybe 6-month course. You understand? So if they apply for another 6-month course or another 1 year program, they will not apply for postgraduate work permit when they finish that 1 year course. They will not apply for it. Because if you apply for it, once you'll be given, that's all forever. If you now do your PhD in Canada, you can't be given again. So what they always do, by the time they were done, they were rounding up with their first program, they apply for another program. So by the time they were done with the other program, they will now apply for the postgraduate work permit. So with that, they will combine the first program with the second program. It is more than one year program now. So they will now give you 3 years. With that, you'll be given 3 years postgraduate work permit. So this is it. If you are doing 1 year course, make sure you are searching for job. You understand? Be looking for job, looking for company that can retain you as you're working part-time, looking for company that can retain you immediately, that can turn your part-time into full-time immediately you are done with your studies, so that you can continue working for them. With that, you don't have to apply to another program. And if you're still looking for a job while you're still studying, you are not sure yet, be preparing to look for another program to do so that you can have the 3 years postgraduate work permit. I hope that's clear. Another question I always get is that how much does it cost to come to Canada? How much does it cost? How much should be in my bank account? How much should I be looking for? The requirement amount is first of all, you have to have your tuition. Your tuition must, sit down. If your program is 1 year course, and let's say the program amount is $5,000 for the 1 year, you have to have the 1 year, the $5,000. It must be either in your bank account or in your sponsor's account, or you have paid it to the school. Do you understand? So that first year is a must. You understand? Because people will be like, oh, I will apply, then I will start working. When I start working, I can be paying my school fee. Canadian government, they want to see that first year tuition in your account or you've paid it. So it's very important. So this one depends on your tuition fee, the school you are going, the course you are doing. It varies. So that one is sure, your tuition fee. Then you must have 10,000 Canadian dollars. That is 1 year living expenses. You get Canadian dollars, 10,000, 1 year living expenses. That's it must not minus 1 cent. It must not minus 1 cent or 1 kobo. You get that 10,000 must be completed or above. That is 1 year living expenses. It is required by Canadian government. That is, if you want to apply to any province except Quebec. If it is Quebec, it is more than that. But most people don't go there because it is a French or speaking province. So $10,000 Canadian dollars plus your tuition fee. Then your flight tickets. It must. I'm talking about single applicant. You understand? Just you get single. Or maybe you want to come to Canada alone, you want to leave your family behind, the money that must be in your account, then your flight tickets must be ready in your account too. You understand? It must be ready. Because if you don't show your flight ticket money, they'll be thinking that, oh, you want to remove from the $10,000, the money, the 1 year living expenses, maybe you want to remove from it. So make sure your ticket money also is ready. And if you have extra, with everything I've listed, extra, it is very better. You understand? So that Canadian government will not be thinking that, you have exactly all the amounts. So what if something happens? What if emergency happens? You understand? So, but all this I've listed is a must. Your tuition fee, 1 year complete, $10,000, 1 year living expenses, and then your flight ticket plus extra. For a single applicant, you get 1 year program, single applicant. But if your program is 2 years, if your program is 2 years, you have to have everything I've listed. Your tuition fee for the 1 year, the first year tuition fee, you must have it. $10,000, you must have it. 1 year living expenses. Your flight ticket, you must have it. Then for the second year, you have to show a proof of how you're going to pay the money. It's either you have the money in your bank account. For the second year, it's either you have the money sitting in your bank account, or you have someone that is going to sponsor you, someone that is going to sponsor you that, hey, I'll be the one to pay his or her second year tuition. Or you yourself, you have a source of income that is going to generate that money for you in the second year. For example, let's say you have a business that is running, you can tell them that, hey, my business, though I'm only showing my first year tuition and my $10,000 living expenses, but I have a business that can generate that my second year. You understand? So you don't have to show the money if you have the source where the money is going to come from, but you have to prove evidence, your transaction history and all that, for them to be sure that, oh, you have something that can generate the money for you. So like I said, it's either you have the money with you, the second year with you, which to be so smooth if you have the money with you, is either you have the money or you have someone that can sponsor you, that can be like, hey, don't worry about his second year, I will pay his second year. Or you have a source where the money is going to come from, source that will generate the money for you. So those are the amounts you need for your first year if you are doing 1 year program or 2 years program. And if you are a family, the amount is different. If you are a family, everything I listed, you must have them. Then let's say if you're bringing your wife, you have to add extra $4,000 for your wife. You understand? Okay, let's say I'm doing 1 year program. My tuition is $5,000, and then my $10,000 living expensive, and then my, let's say, flight tickets is $2,000. So everything is $17,000 for myself. So if I want to bring my wife, I have to add $4,000 for her. So $4,000 plus $17,000, that's $21,000. So for my wife only needs $4,000 if we want to apply together. You understand? If you're applying together, my wife only needs $4,000 plus our tickets, our flight tickets. Then, if I have a child, that child has to have $3,000. You understand? So your wife, $4,000. Then your children, your child or your children, $3,000 each for them. Okay, let's say I have 3 kids. My 3 kids have to show $9,000. That is 3 of them. $3,000 times 3. $9,000 for my 3 children. For my wife, $4,000, then their flight ticket money. So if you have all that, you can apply together by yourself. Because another question, which will lead me to my another question is that, should I apply alone or should I apply with my family when I'm submitting my visa application? Okay, first, as a student, Canadian government, thank you, Canadian government. As a student, you are eligible to bring your family member, your wife and your children to Canada as a student. You understand? How wonderful. How wonderful. Like I always tell people, Canada is a home. You understand? Canada is home. So, as a student, you are eligible to bring your wife, your partner, because it might be, maybe you are a woman that you are watching me. So, you are eligible to bring your partner and your children to Canada. You get, it is straightforward application once you are a student. So the question people always ask me, should I apply alone first, then I will apply for my family later, or should I apply together? If you have the money, all the money I've listed now, if you have all of them, apply together. Apply together. You understand? Apply together. If you have all the money that I listed, just apply together. It will be so smooth for you, so easier for you, because I waited 8 months before my family could join me. I waited 8 months. But I don't want anybody to pass through what I passed through. That 8 months of my life, only me, without my family, you get. So that's that for the amount you need to come to Canada. Then scholarship. People always ask me, can I get a scholarship? Can I get a scholarship to come? In my other video, I explain 2 different types of masters, either thesis based, which is research, or course based. If you are doing course based, there is no scholarship on that. There might be just few scholarship, maybe $1,000 that they will remove from your tuition fee. You understand? For example, if your tuition fee is $10,000, they will just remove maybe $8,000. They will just, just shaking the money. You understand? But when you're talking about scholarship, funded, like they fund you, you have to do a research-based program. You get research-based program, maybe your master's in research or PhD. And then tell you, if you want to do your master's in research, if you're research-based you want to do, and you are seeing school that they are not giving you full scholarship, don't apply to that school, because you are bringing something into their country. You want to come and contribute to their research. You get, so they have to fund you. They have to pay all your tuition fee and even give you living allowance. You understand? So if you're applying to a school as a research, if you want to do a research program and the school is not giving you scholarship, just shut them down and go and apply to another school, because most school always give scholarship to research students, which is what I'm doing currently. So scholarship, schools give scholarship, but if it is not a research program, it won't be a full scholarship. It will just be maybe $500. It will just remove $500 from your tuition, or $1,000 from your tuition. You understand? But for scholarship, you have to do a research program. If you want to do a research program, go and watch all my videos how to apply for a research program. You will enjoy full scholarship. You will not pay any tuition. Like myself, I'm not paying tuition. So, who can sponsor you? Next question that people always ask me is that, who can sponsor you? This one is very tricky, you get, because they believe anybody can sponsor you. In as much as that person has money, the person can sponsor me. Not everybody can sponsor you if you're coming to Canada, you get. And if they must sponsor you, there are some things they have to do, you understand? So your parents, if your parents want to sponsor you, it is express, you understand? You don't have to stress, because it's your parents. Your parents have the money, you understand? So they want to sponsor their child to study. It's a very smooth application. Uncle, your uncle wants to sponsor you. Remember, uncle too, they have their own family. So this is the way visa officer always think. By the time they were reviewing your application, your file, if your uncle is sponsoring you, they'll be like, hey, this your uncle too as a family. Something might happen to this uncle. Uncle can decide that, hey, cousin, nephew, I'm not sponsoring you again. There is no police that will hold your uncle. You understand? So they don't really trust uncles. These visa officers, they don't really trust uncles, aunties, big sister, big auntie. You understand? They don't really trust them. But if they have the money and they want to sponsor you, there are some things they must do. For example, your tuition fee is $10,000. Your tuition is $10,000, and your uncle wants to sponsor you. Let your uncle transfer $7,000 into your account, into your own account. You understand? And prove even $6,000 is fine. Your uncle transfers $6,000 into your account, and your uncle say, hey, visa officer, in his letter, and he say, hey, visa officer, this is my nephew. I've transferred $6,000 into his account. His tuition fee is $10,000. I will pay the rest $4,000. You know, it's so convincing. You understand? It's so convincing that, they will be like, this person is serious. For someone to transfer like more than half into your account, you understand? They will trust the person that, you can sponsor the person. But your uncle wants to sponsor you. You are the one that pay your tuition fee yourself. Your uncle now said, don't worry, I will pay your next tuition fee. He put up all his documents and said, hey, I'm a sponsor. They will reject the application because there is no commitment. You understand? They believe that if like third party, because uncle is a third party to you, if third party want to sponsor you, they should show commitment. If you are serious, pay some part of the money into his account if you really want to sponsor. You understand? So that's the way all these visa officers always think. So if you want to use your uncle, your auntie, someone that is not your parent, if it's your parents, the money can be in your parents' accounts. You understand? If it's your brother, your sister, the money can be in their own accounts. You understand? But when it's getting to uncle, your boss at work, if your boss wants to sponsor you, let them transfer the money into your account if you're serious. You understand? If it's your boss, your pastor, your imam, if they want to sponsor you, let them make commitments. You understand? Let them make commitments. Because if they don't make commitments, they will reject the application. You understand? So that is that. Let them make commitments. The other question that people always ask me is that, what else? After I finish my study, what else? After you finish your study, after you graduated, you are going to apply for permanent residence. You understand? You can apply because when you finish your study, they will give you postgraduate work permit. And with the postgraduate work permit, when you work for 1 year, you can use it to apply for your permanent residence. How sweet. How sweet. So if anybody have more questions, just drop it down. I will do a video to explain it very well, because the way I always explain when people ask me questions via chat, sometimes they don't get it. You understand? So that is all that about questions regarding visa application to Canada. So I wish you best of luck, and I will hear your testimony very soon.